This podcast is brought to you in part by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Touch of Gaming podcast. This is episode number 166. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me, as always, and yawning already at the start of the podcast, Jared Schultz. Jared, how the heck are you, my friend?
I blame it on the dentist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the dentist. I don't know why that made me yawn, but I'm going to say that's what it is.
Okay, that's a good excuse. Good excuse. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm doing okay. We haven't talked for 2 weeks, and I'm 1 year older.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, my birthday was last week.
My birthday's in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's cool.
You've caught up to me for a little bit, and then I'll jump yet ahead further and further. Although I'm way older than you to begin with, so that doesn't even make sense. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to bring that part up.
Yes, you were. Don't lie.
Well, I was, but you kept talking, so.
And that was for a reason. All right, well, let's jump right into the show. This is, of course, the Touch of Gaming podcast, episode number 166. We got a lot of games to talk about this week, so we're not going to really dive into too much news at all. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know about a new feature we have here at VG Podcasts. If you go to vgpodcast.com, right on the right-hand side of the browser window, you're going to see this little button that's sideways that says Send Voicemail. This is a new voicemail system that we're using, powered by SpeakPipe. So if you click that link, you just click Start Recording, and you can immediately send us a voicemail right from your computer. If you have a PC Mac, like a desktop machine or laptop, of course. But if you have a mobile device, which you probably do since you are listening to an iOS podcast, there is an iOS app. And if you install the iOS app and then you click the send voicemail while you're on your phone, you hit the top that says open up the app. It'll actually open it up right up to the app and sending us a voicemail page. And you just hit start recording, record your message, listen back to it, see how everything is. If you like it, hit send, and we'll be able to use that easily and quickly on future episodes of the podcast. So wanted to mention it right off the top of the show. Hopefully we can get some feedback from you guys, since this is a new, simple, easy way to contact us. So do check it out. VGpodcast.com, click send voicemail, and leave us something to talk about, which is great. All right, Jared, let's get into the show. What have you been playing, my friend? It looks like you've been doing a lot of gaming.
I've been playing all the best games. So I've been playing this game called Wayward Souls. Wayward Souls came out a couple weeks ago. It's by the guys at Rocket Cat Games. For some reason, just because of who they are, I will always remember them as the Hat People, because they always have lots of crazy hats in their game that you can collect. And this one's no different. You can collect hats. So this one's really cool. Did you play Rogue Legacy on the PC?
I have not.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, because that's a PC game and you don't play PC games. This reminds me a lot of like Rogue Legacy, because what you do is it is a roguelike game where you pick a class and then you go as far as you can with that class, defeating different baddies in the dungeon, and slowly you'll get to big baddies, and then you'll be able to go on to new dungeons. Well, any money that you collect from a given run, you can then use to invest in future runs, so that you can get even farther by powering up your character and getting them more life, or getting them faster mana regeneration, or whatever the case may be. It uses kind of the twin stick format. However, it's more like a D-pad on the left side and then just like a big old button on the right side. And it just attacks forward for whatever you're doing. And then there's also some swipe gestures on the right side. So if you pick up some spells or something, then you can swipe right or swipe down or up, depending on how it's set. And you're able to use these superpowers that are able to get lots of bad guys out at the same time. It's cool because you just run in and you make a run, and slowly you get farther and farther and farther, and I think the game's great. And it's $5, so it is a premium price game. However, they said that they will not be putting it on sale and that it will go up $1 every time they release a major patch content. I don't know if I actually believe that that'll happen, but it seems like they're kind of in this indie scene that is trying to experiment with pricing on games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually held to it for quite a while. So if you are interested, it might be worth picking up while it's $5 before it goes up to 6 with the next major release. I still am playing a fair amount of it. I haven't quite got enough that I'm ready to review it yet. However, I'm really, really enjoying it. I see that it's on your list too. Did you want to say anything else about it?
Yeah, I've been playing it as well. I don't know what to think about it. It's kind of like Demon Souls, Dark Souls. It's a game where when you die, you lose a lot of the stuff that you had. In this game, it's just your spells and stuff. You get to keep your gold from one life to another. I too bought it because I will buy any Rocket Cat game that comes out just because it's Rocket Cat and they make some really great stuff. I'm unsure what I think of this game right now. The thing that really confused me is when I first started the game, you play through as a character and then you die and then you restart as another character. And then when you die, you can just hit replay and keep going. But you don't really get to do anything. Like I was just like, well, like I've played roguelikes before like this where you keep some stuff like, but I'm losing everything and I don't understand what's happening here. And then later I found out, I said, okay, I want to change my character class, went back. And then after I chose a new character, it brought me to the upgrade screen. And it's just like, oh, so I can use all this gold I've been amassing to upgrade my skills. Well, why can't I do that between replays? Like, why do I have to go back to the menu and then go back in? So like I was sitting there playing a bunch of times and I'm just like, well, this is stupid. And I quit the game and only like a week later I went back into it and it's like, oh, there's an upgrade mechanic. That would have been nice if I was told that or it was shown to me in some other form. So I think it lost a lot of its luster initially because of because of how it just didn't really show you that to begin with. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what I think of it yet. I've been playing a little bit, going to it, taking a break, coming back to it, taking a break. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Jared. I'm not really sure what I'd want to say about it yet.
Yeah, for me, it's one that I enjoy having around and playing a little bit, and then it's not one game that I just want to pick up. Maybe I'm too used to the dual stick system, but for me, not that one always attacking forward. It's a very small thing, but it feels old.
Sure.
Like it's like, well, people have gotten pretty good at dual sticks now, so why isn't this a dual stick so that I can kind of, and I think it's partially because if you were to move your thumb in whatever direction you wanted to face, that it would then it would interpret that as a swipe, which is how they run the spell system. But it just kind of bugs me because I don't know how many times I've been like, oh, and I run away from the bat that charges up and then runs after you.
Yeah.
And I'm not able to like flip my guy around and then shoot straight, and it's like I just wish I could move my other finger and dual stick shoot that guy. I know I just turned that into verb and it's not, but does that sound dumb or does that make any sense at all?
No, it totally does.
It feels old because it reminds me of the old like NES games where there's actually a button and that button does a single thing.
Sure.
And it's like I don't know. So like I said, I don't know what to think of it. I think it's pretty good. You definitely see that extra polish. The graphic style is pretty cool because they use kind of that 16-bit graphic that looks like it's off of the NES or Super NES. I like the game a lot. There's just I still have some more playing and thinking to do on it. So
sure.
The next game that I've been playing that I'd like to talk about is a game called Hearthstone. We probably should actually review this at some point, Lloyd. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure. We could.
Yeah, we keep like not reviewing it, and I've played a ton of it now.
It's kind of hard to review a game because it's, I mean, I guess it's not that hard to review it, but yeah, it just seems it's kind of weird because it's free and there's all this crazy stuff that you're doing in it, but you can buy packs, you don't buy packs. Like, there's so many things, so many different ways to play it that it's hard to do a full review on a game like that. If I had to review it, I give it a 5 out of 5. It's one of the best card battlers that I've played. It's free. You could play this game for 100 hours without spending any real money on it. Or if you get really crazy into the kind of the built deck tournament mode, you could spend hundreds of dollars to get just the right decks to go far in those modes as well. So
yeah, but I love that even if it takes you a while, like if you just get rid of your cards that you have doubles and triples of, then you can go and use that dust to then craft the exact card that you want.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge number of cards. I really enjoy the draft modes. So, the way I do it is whenever I get 150, I go and do a draft mode. And I probably play just a few, like 3 battles, maybe every other day or something like that.
Sure.
Just enough. I like to always clean out one quest whenever I load it up. So that way, the next time I log in, I'll get a new quest that I can work on. And I try to work on as many concurrently as I can.
Yeah.
Because it maxes you out at 3 quests. And, there'll be like one that's win with the warrior and one that's do like 100 damage to other people and kill 40 minions or something like that. So, if you have an iPad, you should check this game out. It's really good. It might not be for everyone, but I think a lot of people will be able to find enjoyment in it. So I'm still enjoying it. If you want to add me, then feel free. I think I'm Quacko on it, and I'm happy to battle it. I did find out last week, because I battled a friend on it, that even if you battle and you're fulfilling the conditions of your mission, you actually don't get credit for fulfilling the conditions of the mission. And apparently the reason is because initially there's some abuse. Yeah, some people that were gaming it and playing poorly just so their friends could complete their missions, which is unfortunate because it would have been really nice to be able to play with friends and still be able to achieve the missions. But
right.
If you want to play, I'll still play. I enjoy it, and you should check it out.
Cool.
So Hearthstone, I won't spend any more time on it. The next game that I'm going to talk about is a game called Word Up Dog. Yeah. So Word Up Dog is. I'm just going to say the name a couple times because it seems to make you laugh every time I do.
It does, yes.
So, Word Up Dog is the latest game by Sarah Northway. So, if you don't know who Sarah Northway is, she was the one that did that Rebuild game. That is like there's been a zombie apocalypse, and you're working the turn-based strategy to kind of rebuild it, and it's the really cool art style and all that. So that's Sarah Northway. And she actually launched a Kickstarter for Rebuild 2, and she also did Incredipede, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Word Up Dog is the newest one, and it's kind of funny because the premise of this game is that you're a dog and you're digging up letters, and when you can collect so many letters, I think it's 8, in your little board. Well, then you can go and touch the letters in order to spell words, and with that you sell the words that you're able to build for bones. And in order to advance to the next level, you have to have sufficient bones. However, there's also this bones energy system, in that you can only dig another spot up if you have a bone to do so. It then gets significantly more complicated because you end up getting wild cards, you end up getting things that you can't dig through and you have to use dynamite on, and of course the dynamite costs bones. And then you end up with vending machines, and the vending machines, if you stick a vowel on it, then it'll pop out a consonant, and vice versa. So, maybe you'll have 3 U's and you're like, this is completely unusable. Well, if you find one of these nice little vending machines, you can drop a U on there out will pop a nice S or something like that you can use. Then as you're playing, occasionally all of a sudden you'll have a timer on the right side that'll start counting down, and it'll give you some condition that if you fulfill, you get a significant bonus. Like for example, I got use a 5-letter word that uses the letter U. And I think I had the letters for like urges or something like that. And I went and played it and got a whole bunch of extra bones. You kind of only have to play off of the bonuses, because if you don't, oftentimes you won't get enough bones to beat the next level. But it's worth checking out. It's a fun little game. It's a little goofy. There a lot of the other animals that you find while you're digging are like wrappers and stuff like that, which kind of goes along with the title "Word Up Dog." Even though they're all like wrapper dogs and stuff like that, it's unique, and it's a fun little word game that you may want to check out. I'll probably end up talking a little more about it as I play a little more. I think I'm through like the first like 3 or 4 levels. Granted, the levels are a little longer and that's another thing that it does. It'll time how quickly you get through the level, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's Word Up Dog. Might be worth it if you like word games or some kind of light strategy game there.
Or you just like saying "Word Up Dog."
Yeah, and you can tell your friends, "Hey, I'm playing Word Up Dog."
Word up, dog.
And then they're just like, oh, and just to clarify here, that's DOG. They didn't do the DWG.
Or double G, DOW.
Yeah,
didn't
it's
do
a
that.
little bit of a miss, don't you think?
Oh, I'm disappointed. So disappointed.
You're not going to get it now, are you?
No, just they ruined it for me.
Because they misspelled the word dog for you.
Yeah, they misspelled the misspelled version of the word for me. It's terrible.
The next game I've been playing is a game called Jungle Rumble. However, when I went and looked for Jungle Rumble, there's like 85 of these in the App Store. So apparently Jungle Rumble is a common term. And so you actually need to look for the Jungle Rumble that is by Disco Pixel in order to know the game that I'm talking about. And the full title is, let me pull it up here so that I'm telling people right. It is Jungle Rumble, Freedom, Happiness, and Bananas.
All right.
I mean, that right there is pretty...
that kind of says it all, really.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Freedom, happiness, and bananas.
I think we should just end the podcast on that note, because that really says all that needs to be said.
So, what is Jungle Rumble, Freedom, Happiness, and Bananas? I have some great names on these today. I'm kind of proud of that. So this game, so one of my all-time like top 5 games that I've ever played in my entire life is Patapon. I'm very thank you for that. I just haven't found another game that quite matches how much I love Patapon. But this game kind of has the rhythm game as well as kind of a real-time aspect to it. So what happens is there's a 4-beat drum, just as there is in Patapon, and you have to tap. And the order in which you tap will tell your monkeys what you want them to do. So, for example, if you want to move them, then you tap where they're at, where you want them to move, then tap where you're at again and where you want them to move, and then they will move. If you want them to attack with a coconut that they're holding, you tap on them 3 times, and then for your 4th tap, you tap the target of the coconut. So it has kind of some of that rhythm going for it. For some reason, maybe I'm just not coordinated enough yet, or maybe I just need to get more used to it. Unless I'm really in the zone, I have a difficult time stringing together a lot of them. But it's definitely interesting. it's no replacement for Patapon, unfortunately, but it is interesting just in that it's like a rhythm game, but it's also kind of strategy, trying to outmaneuver the red monkeys with your black monkeys and being able to knock him out. And there's like 3 stars, and so you'll get 1 star just for completing the level, 1 star for knocking, throwing coconuts at all the bad monkeys, and then 1 for doing it in a certain amount of time. And the only way you can do it in the low amount of time is if you're not missing constantly on the beat. It's interesting. I don't know what I think of it. It looks like it was down to $2 for a bit. Now it's back up to 4. At $2, I would say it's worth checking out. I'm not ready to say at $4 it's worth checking out yet. Okay.
Interesting.
So can I just say the title one more time?
Yeah.
That is A Jungle Rumble, Freedom, Happiness, and Bananas. Yes. I just think that's one of the best titles I've had on a game in a long time.
Cool. Well, I'm glad it made you happy, Jared.
Yeah, actually, I should put that in the notes, because I just put Jungle Rumble. I need to put the whole Freedom, Happiness, and Bananas in there. And then I've been playing a game that is called Towncraft.
Nice.
I think you would enjoy this game much more than I would.
Oh, okay.
For whatever reason, I've never been able to get into the Minecraft thing, and so that's why I was really interested in when you were going to teach Will how to play Minecraft. Sadly, you had some technical difficulties and you haven't got back around to it. So, I have never really got Minecraft, and this is essentially Minecraft on a slightly larger scale. So basically, Towncraft, you are running around and you can go collect all the standard stuff. You can collect stones and you can collect branches and stuff like that. And then you can fashion the branches and use your crafting tool to combine the stone with the branches and make hatchets that you can then go chop down trees and get logs. And slowly you build. And well, then what kind of differentiates it is that at some point, you can build a mine, and then you can hire a worker to go work in that mine, and then that guy, as long as you keep him paid, will provide you with a set amount of money every day, or not money, but resources every day. And then you can hire somebody to plant your crops, or to tend your crops, because for some reason you have to plant them, even though he'll tend them and then harvest them. And you slowly can get this little town, but then you also have to be very careful because if you hire too many people, well, every single person costs wages, and you have to make sure that you're using the stuff that they are making. If they're getting wood or grain or whatever for you, you have to make sure that you are then turning that into valuable goods that you can sell to passing merchants. And there's a number of scenarios, and usually the scenarios will have you doing a certain thing, and once you accomplish that thing, you can move on to the next one. The maps seem relatively large. You can find deposits of iron, and by the deposit of iron, you stick a mine shaft, which means that it no longer depletes, whereas when it's just the pile of iron sitting there, it depletes after a certain amount of time, after not so many hits. So yeah, I haven't. I say that I don't. I've had a couple of these builder games that I've actually have enjoyed. Probably the top 2 would be Blockheads and Terraria.
Right.
This one is not quite on the level of those 2, but I think if you like Minecraft and that type of thing, and you're willing to bring it up to a slightly more macro level, and that you're controlling all these guys and hiring them for jobs, I think this one is a good one to check out.
I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like it's kind of like it's kind of like an isometric view of the world that you're in.
Yes.
Looking at the right one?
That is true. Huh. Yeah, and sometimes that causes problems, because if you're clicking on it, sometimes you won't click on the right item, because it is an isometric view. You'll click on a tree and accidentally go mine rocks instead because of the way that it interprets your touch.
Right.
But it's good. I think I'm not the target audience because I'm not one of the big fans of builders.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I tend to like gaming with a bit more of a goal, and maybe that's actually why I liked Terraria more, because it seemed like there was more of a I was doing this to build up and do something.
Right.
And the last game I just want to quickly mention here is Flappy Golf. So you mentioned Flappy Golf on a previous podcast, and I was like, all right, well, I'll go download it, even though I have eschewed everything the Flappy Bird. I don't care about Flappy Bird. I have never played Flappy Bird, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But you told me it was good.
It is. It is really good.
Flappy Golf is amazingly fun because you're trying to. So basically, it's like Stickman Golf, except that your ball is a Flappy Bird, and as you touch the screen, he flaps his wings, and your second one gets you farther than your first one, and you have to figure out the way through the level so that with the least number of flaps, you can land your putt.
It's so good.
It's brilliant. Like, I mean, like, Noodle Cake Studios, like, props to them for like taking this idea that was so popular and just like owning it. Like, it's so good. And
Yeah.
I so many times I pull it out, I'll just be like, I'll play a couple holes of Flappy Golf and figure out. And there's tons of levels so that you can play it a long time. I still have tons of levels left to play. So yeah, if you don't have this one, it's a great one to just add to your free games.
And it's free, so yeah, do it.
Yeah,
do
Flappy Golf. What have you even played, Lloyd? That was a long one. Sorry. That was kind of the point.
It is very long. I've been playing a fair bit as well. Of course, I'm still playing the Family Guy and Simpsons. Blah blah blah. No one wants to hear about that, so I'm not going to talk about it. That's still going. Wayward Souls, of course, which we talked about earlier, is great. Picked up a couple newer games that I've been playing, and first up is 2-Bit Cowboy that came out this week. And it's a side-scrolling platformer shooter collecting game that's done in the style of a Game Boy. So it looks like old Game Boy graphics. So 4 colors, a lot of greens and greens and greens and greens and more greens. It's kind of fun. I'm not quite sure what to think about it yet. I've only played a few levels, but it's interesting. It's published by Crescent Moon Software, so I like a lot of their stuff. So I'm going to be checking a little bit more of that out. Also picked up Zombie Gunner Arcade. It's free. It's a Flappy Bird clone as well. It's like a mixture between Flappy Bird and Jetpack Joyride, and essentially you're the AC AC 140 or whatever, the big gunship that you used in Zombie Gunner. So you're firing ordnance from high above and killing all the zombies and surviving and not killing the survivors, allowing them to survive a little bit longer. But this one is a side-scrolling one where you are staying aloft by shooting your guns at the ground, and as you do that, you're killing zombies. But you can't kill the humans, and that's where the Flappy Bird thing comes in, because you have to stop flapping, shooting, to basically go through and make it through the level. So you stop, so you don't kill the humans, and then you hit the screen again to shoot and kill more zombies. Then you have to stop, and the higher you get, the harder it is to time, etc., etc. It's kind of interesting, a neat little take on the Flappy Bird thing. I'm sure this whole Flappy Bird thing is going to lose steam soon, and it'll just go away, which would be kind of neat to see. But until then, a lot of the free games that I download have some Flappy Birdness in them, and I play them for a bit and go, oh yeah, that was Flappy, and then I delete it and don't play it again. So that's Zombie Gunner Arcade. It's free. Check it out if you're into that type of stuff. And also, I've been playing a little bit of Dwarven Den, a new game. Jared, you're going to be reviewing that right away, so I won't get too much into it, but maybe I'll pipe up a little bit while you're doing your review and tell you kind of some of my thoughts as you're giving your review as well. What do you think?
That sounds fine.
That sounds fine.
Sounds like we have a bit different perspective on some things in it.
Yeah, a little bit. But let's get into that right away. But first, we don't have any email, but we did get an interesting request. So Prometheus, he's a mainstay in the chat room. Chats with us while we do the show. He gave us a challenge, Jared. So let's talk about that challenge a little bit. He has 99 cents burning a hole in his pocket on the App Store. So he wants us to spend 99 cents for him. He'll play the game and he'll report back to us next episode and let us know what we think, or what he thinks of what we gave him. So
if we wasted his 99 cents or not.
Yeah, if we blew his 99 cents, or if we gave him a good game. So what do you think? Something fun? You want to do this?
I'm having a difficult time just finding one. And then the other issue is I don't know what he's already played.
Well,
so
you're just making it difficult. So let's not try to make this difficult. Let's just try to do it easy. What's a game for 99 cents that you'd like him to play and report back?
Well, I mean, what about that Assassin's Creed game that just dropped to 99 cents?
Assassin's Creed Pirates.
Yeah, it just dropped to 99 cents like today or something. So
yep,
I mean,
that's a good one.
That's not a bad choice. I mean, Rayman Jungle Run did, but that's a little bit older. And we've already reviewed that one, so that one might not be as good. So I think if I were to pick one, I would say Rayman, Assassin's Creed Pirates. That would be my 99 cents to burn now.
Cool. I'll give him one as well, and he can choose one of the two that we gave him and pick one, play it, and then get back to us. The one I'm going to say that he should play is 2-Bit Cowboy, because I'm not quite sure what I think of it yet, so I'd like another take on it. So it just came out this week. It's 99 cents. So Prometheus, if you want to pick a game, Assassin's Creed Pirates or 2-Bit Cowboy, choose one of those, and then maybe leave us a voicemail and let us know what you thought, which one you played and which one you liked, or just chat at us next episode. You can do that as well. You don't really need to leave a voicemail if you don't want to, but do that. Let us know what you think, and we'll report back to all the people listening next episode.
That's kind of a fun challenge.
And then if you want to do this again, Prometheus, I'm gonna have to go trolling through the App Store and find something perfect for you. But that'll take a little bit of time, so we didn't get much warning about this one. So sorry for the lame game that I just played and don't know if I like it yet. Play it thing request or choice, I guess, is what it would be.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It needs to be like a regular feature. Like, how would you spend $5 this week? You know?
We should do that. That would actually be kind of fun. But we'd have to live stream that stuff and to make it fun for everybody, so they could see what we spend our money on.
Yeah, and then throw on like a couple of free games, because it seems like lately there's consistently a free game or two. You know, every month there's a free game or two that I'm just amazed at how much, like Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you're just like, wow, I am getting a lot of enjoyment out of this game for free.
Exactly.
So, anyway, let us know, Prometheus.
Awesome. So let's, as I said, we talked a lot about games, and we still have a lot more games to talk about. So let's skip the news. Let's jump right into our review. So Jared has a review for you guys this week. I don't. But I'm going to be piping up while Jared Schultz sings the blues. Talks about Dwarven Den. Can you possibly move your camera down just a touch, because when I switch to full screen, you're basically sitting right in your lower third.
I'll just sit up.
There, that works. Sorry,
leaning back 90% of the way.
Yeah.
So I'm good to go.
You are. The floor is yours.
So, you know what's the worst? Like, I went to the dentist, and like just now I had like a hiccup, and I got like the taste of like the stuff that they put in your mouth. Ugh. I need to go brush my teeth.
Oh, that's gross.
Thanks
for making me nauseous.
On that note, Dwarven Den is a game. It's by Backflip Studios. Backflip Studios have done so many different games, many of which I have enjoyed immensely. I'm trying to think of one that I am not coming up with right away. Didn't they do like Ragdoll Blaster?
Yes.
Trying to think of some of the other stuff. Oh, they did Paper Toss.
Yeah, Paper Toss, the Dragon Veil
Dragon
is the
Veil.
big
That's
one.
probably where I played them forever.
Yeah.
Because I played that game for almost a year. Um, and then Ragdoll Blaster. Yep, got that one. And then, like I said, this is their new one. It is Dwarven Den. And Dwarven Den is a freemium game. And the way that Dwarven Den plays out is it's almost like a puzzle game because you get dropped into various levels and you have a set amount of energy as well as technology, and you're able to upgrade this over time. The way that you do that is by finding items to wear, and you have a hat, and you have a pick, and you have a backpack, and each one of them gives you a different value. So your pick allows you to strike through different blocks faster. Your hat, what does it do? It gives you energy.
Yeah, it gives you it when you mine certain things, you get different amounts of energy or things like that.
And then your backpack provides you with tech, and you use the tech to use kind of like special moves. Like, for example, you start off and you get, I think you get bombs first that you can drop bombs to blow up bad guys that you're finding in this mine. Later, you're able to get lights, like little like torches you can throw. And that allows you to see in areas so you know whether or not it's worth digging in a particular direction. Later, you get traps, and you can drop a trap in front of a bad guy. And what's cool is when you trap a bad guy, you get energy for it. So it becomes another source of energy by using your tech. And the way that this works is you have so much energy, so you have to be careful. You want to try and find the best way. You can't just blast out everything, but you also want to make sure that you're accomplishing the goal on every level. There are generally goals such as, the most common goal is to find someone underground and to collect all the gold. So there'll be so much gold on a level, and all you have to do is mine all the blocks that have gold on it. But sometimes the difficulty is finding that gold. As you go through the levels, there get progressively harder guys. So at first there's like bad guys that are just spiders, and they walk back and forth. And if you run into these guys, you don't actually die, you just lose energy. But that can be very important because if you run out of energy, then you lose a life. And it works kind of like Candy Crush in that you have 3 chances to beat a level, or 3 lives. And every time you die, you lose 1, and then it takes like a half an hour or something to regenerate a single life. In addition, you're opening chests. When you get chests, you often will find items. Sometimes you will find a little bit of premium currency. You don't find a ton of premium currency throughout the game, but I've found that even though there is premium currency, I haven't really needed it yet. I went and decided to use it at one point just to try and get some better equipment, and I was like, oh wow, I can buy like the best equipment. Well, it's not actually the best equipment, it's just the best equipment available at that time. And as you go on further, then the best equipment gets better. Even so when at one point I was like, wow, I have the best equipment in the game. I didn't have the best equipment in the game, I just had the best equipment at that moment. And then oftentimes you'll find like the same items, so you can go and put 2 of the same item together and forge them, and it costs some amount of gold, and then you come up with the 1 tier higher level of that item, which is kind of a little bit annoying because it means that you have to find a lot of the low tier items in order to make the big ones. And then also, in order to generate gold, the way that you do that is either by finding gold in the mine in this puzzle-like level, or by selling items that you don't need. So oftentimes, if I get an item that's 2 or 3 tiers below what I'm currently using, I'll just sell it off for the gold. And then if I get it at the current tier I'm using, or 1 or 2 levels below, then I will try to spend my money to forge it up and make it better. Because if you have, like I said, if you have 2 of them and then combine them with gold, you get a better version of the item. And each one has like they'll often have little powers, and the power will go away and you'll get a different power as you go up tiers, which sometimes is kind of sad because, like you don't want to go up to the next level because like I think the one right now I have gives me, I think my backpack makes all the monsters move like 50% slower, which is great because when you're running away from mummies, it makes it very easy to run away from them. So I haven't wanted to upgrade that for a while now. And I know that eventually I'm going to want to because it'll just keep getting better. But for the moment, the way I'm getting around that is just spending all my money on upgrading my other two items, which is working great. So um, there's a whole bunch of levels in it. I think there's like 100 levels. I'm not through them all. I'm through a lot. There's a guild system that works in it. I have not really played much in the guild. I did start a guild for the Touch of Gaming podcast. So if you'd like to join us, we are currently the guild ToG. I think I'm the only member of it though right now. Even though you've been playing it, you didn't join my guild.
Well, yeah, I played it before there was a guild, and so I because it's soft launched in Canada, I believe, for a few days or whatever. So that's where I played it first. I will now join the ToG guild just to make you happy, Jared.
That makes me feel better because then I won't be in there all by myself. So if you decide to pick up this game, I would invite you to join the ToG guild. We may give up in a few weeks and just go all join with Touch Arcade like we did that last time, but with pocket planes. But for right now, we're trying to stick it out and see how it works in the guild. So I am really enjoying this game. I really enjoy kind of like the puzzle Linus, you get dropped in and you're like, okay, well, I don't want to use my energy. Lloyd, you kind of mentioned it gets a little repetitive. I can see that. I've been playing it in short chunks, so that hasn't bothered me as much. I don't think I've ever played more than about 3 or 4 levels in a single sitting. And I am really enjoying this game. I think that you're getting a good amount of content for free. I have not yet hit a paywall. I've just been able to continue playing the game, and right now I'm even considering figuring out something I can go pay $1 or $2 for just so I can reward the developers on it. I think this one's really great, and so yeah. Do you want to add in your little bit here?
No, you pretty much covered it all. I think for me, I'm really burnt out on free to play games. I played so many. So many times in a row for so long that when I see the mechanic where if you do bad in a couple levels in a row, you have to wait to play. To me, that is a huge insult to me as a gamer. It's like, well, you didn't play good enough. Now you don't get to play my game. You have to wait time.
You're in timeout because you're not good enough.
Yeah, and I think that way to punish gamers to get them to spend premium currency or bug their friends, I personally just have an issue with that myself. So when I see a game that has that, I haven't had to use it yet. I'm like level 20 or 17 or whatever. I'm not super far into the game, but I'm far enough where I can see where now that I have mummies chasing after me and smacking me, that I'm probably going to start losing on some of these levels. And if I ever get to the point where I don't have any lives left, I probably just will delete the game. I mean, that's what I did with Angry Birds Go or whatever that one was, the racing one. It told me that I couldn't play once, and I was just like, all right, then I'm not playing your game, and I deleted it. And ever since then, I mean, it's just if that happens to me, I won't play the game anymore. So you said that it hasn't been that bad. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess. But yeah, that whole mechanic, I hate it personally.
The bad guys get harder. You end up with like, so I mean that could be considered because you end up with like fake treasure chests. I mean, if you just scroll through the levels, you can kind of see what new bad guy is introduced in every grouping by what bad guy is hanging out on the map.
Sure.
And once you get down to the kind of some of the flyers, they could get kind of difficult. So I see that. I guess I just haven't ever tried to play it long enough that it's gotten in my way.
Sure.
So, I feel like I'll play a few levels, and even if I do fail, I don't think I've ever failed more than once in a sitting, and so that's easily regenerated. But yeah, I like the game. I think that I want to give it a 5 out of 5.
You're saying that like it's a bad
nervous. No, I'm just nervous about it because I know that you weren't enjoying it as much. So I personally am really enjoying this game. I think that it's worth a check out. I have a few friends that only play freemium games, and this is one that I've recommended to them that they pick up and check out because I think that this is actually does it well. And so yeah, that's and what's sad is none of them have joined my guild yet. I'm still all by myself. So I'm gonna say this Dwarven Den by Backflip Studios gets a 5 out of 5 from me. I think that people should at least check it out and see if it's the kind of game that they would like. It is a little slower paced. It is more of a puzzle type game, even though it might not look like it. And but it still has some kind of cool RPG like aspects, and that you're trying to level up your equipment in between, goes and all that. So I really like it. Check it out. That's all I got.
Nice. Well, awesome. Just hearing your praise for it, I'm going to go give it another chance, even though I was kind of getting worried on what it would become. You said you haven't hit it, so I will trust you on that, and I'll go pick it up again. So, yeah, check it out. Dwarven Den gets a 5 out of 5 from the Touch of Gaming podcast. So check it out. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and I haven't given a 5 out of 5 in a while. I've been kind of grumpy on games lately, so it's been really nice this week because, as you heard, I liked a lot of games I was playing, so it's good.
It's a renaissance for you, having a little bit of a happy time playing some games, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, and Battleheart 2 comes out later this month, so that's exciting.
That'll be good. Awesome. Well, that's going to about do it for this episode of the Touch of Gaming podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure to leave your voicemails and give us your feedback on what you think of the show. You can head on over to VG Podcasts. Of course, click the leave a voicemail button and leave us a voicemail. You can email us at vgpodcast@gmail.com or call our voicemail line at 505 VG Podcasts. Of course, we record this show most Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Central over at vgpodcast.com/live. Or on twitch.tv/VGPod. If you are a Twitch user, I would love it if you went and subscribed to the VGPod Twitch channel. Trying to get a lot more people over there subscribing to our channel. So if you like what we do here, do check it out. We do game streaming. There's a couple people that stream on this user ID. So myself, Will, we might have a couple other people that are going to be doing some game streams. So if you want to check out what we are playing here on VG Podcasts and soon to be on another site as well, do check that out. Subscribe to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/VGPod. All right, Jared, thanks again for joining me for yet another episode of the ToG, man. This was a good one.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Lots of games.
Yeah,
and dentists. I don't talk about dentists again.
Dang, dentist! I need to go brush my teeth.
Terrible. Get that fluoride out of your mouth. All right, everybody.
Seriously.
Take it easy. We'll talk to you in about a week's time, and go out there and play games. And Prometheus, good luck on your challenge. Let us know what you think next week. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
It would help if I could turn up the music before I hit the button to play the music. Music playing in the background. Here we go.
Let's get started.
Whoa, what the heck's happening here? What's even playing? Where did that even come from? That is so bizarre. All right, let's do this again. Later, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Forget the last 30 seconds.
Bye again.